Hello, my friends. This is 𝗧𝗺𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃, the Positive Vibes artist. Welcome to my planner mess for the week of September the 22nd. It is finally fall. Yay! My favorite season because of the change in the colors of the leaves and the cooler temperatures. And what else? I'm not a fan of pumpkin spice latte, but I am a fan of hot chocolate, and it being cool enough here in Houston, Texas to be able to drink hot chocolate and not have a hot flash. So, all that being said, I'm going to do some different things today. First things first is I'm going to take 2 to-do lists and pop them into my planner. I bought these at Little Craft Place in Tomball, Texas. I'm not sure when I bought them. I want to say it was last fall. And this is artwork by 𝗧𝗺𝗃 illustration. There's this one, and then there's this one. I'm going to have a really busy week ahead. I've got to keep things straight. And so I'm going to need 2 separate to-do lists. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp them with my Happy Planner thingamajiggy here. Let me see if I can get it lined up to where it, yeah, that's good. And then I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do this one on this side because I don't want to punch holes in the cute fox. Okay. Of course I didn't get it even, but that's okay. I'm not going to have them on the same spot. I'm going to separate them on the page anyway. But I have punched holes where I need to punch holes, and I can set this over here. Okay, the only thing I've done in this spread is I went ahead. I had these leftover day stickers. These are from Deck Designs, DEK designs.com, and I just really liked them, and I used them in a month for last year where it started like toward the weekend. So I used like, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So all I had left in this particular design was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I used it here, and I have some more somewhere so I can finish off the week, but they're going to be a different design. And I'm going to go ahead and have the same issue for some other week in fall because I'll have an extra Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. These are my stickers. These are hand-painted watercolor. Every single heart on here is a sticker. They all pop off. This is mine as well. I wanted to use some of these sunflowers, not those. Maybe a couple of these. This is Deck Designs again. And so is this. I just want to finish out the kit, you know, more or less. Oh, these are my moons as well. I did these in Procreate. Everything else is hand-painted with watercolor. Okay, Deck Designs, where are the days? The days. Okay. They're around. I know they are, because I left them all in the same pile. I did not work in my planner at all last week for 2 reasons. One, it was the, I could use these appointments instead of on the other one. It was the big birthday week. My daughter's birthday is the 14th of September, and my husband's is the 15th. And so we celebrated on Monday because our daughter just turned, is she 27 now or 28? I don't know, do the math. She was born in 1998. Okay, do the math. I'm not good at math. I won't even try. But she is married, and so her husband had the entire weekend planned out for her. So we didn't get to see her until Monday on her dad's birthday. And her dad turned 59. So in case you're wondering, I am 62. So that's it for the ages around here. I use these to put stickers on from sticker books before I decide where to put them on my page, if I'm even going to use them at all. So I'm just setting this stuff to the side here and making even more of a mess. But, okay, I don't know what happened to the rest of the day stickers from Deck Designs. That's really weird. They were in this pile. Sometimes pages kind of cling together, you know. Maybe that's what happened. But I guess not. I can use some of these, I guess. So here we go with Thursday again. Let me double check and make sure. Oh, awesome. It does not smear. I didn't even realize that these blocks here are the same exact color as earlier in the week. If I had a gold, I do have a fine gold pen, but it tends to release a little splurt of extra ink when it is least appropriate. So I didn't want to use it on this and have it mess up my days of the week here, especially since I don't have too much here to work with, you know. Yeah, but so I didn't plan last week because the birthday's on Monday. The Friday leading into that, I had underwent the YAG procedure, Y-A-G, with my ophthalmologist. And that's when they repeatedly zap your eyeball with a laser. Oh, that was fun. It didn't hurt at all, and the whole process was done, and I swear, it wasn't even 30 seconds. The worst part about it was the lead up to it. They used 4 different eye drops on me. The first one was to get an accurate read of my eye pressures. I do have a history of glaucoma, which is why I had to be put through all this eyeball hell recently. And then they did a, what'd they do? They did the deadening drop for the glaucoma test, and they tested my pressures. And then they did another drop for, was it another deadening drop for the laser? I don't remember, but then they did another drop that was an antibiotic. And then the last drop they did was some sort of medication to help the eye to heal. And then they zapped my eyeball. And the worst part of that process of, oh, I had one here, but it's white. I don't know why I did that. The worst part of that was that the machine, that the laser, it makes a really loud clicking sound every time the doctor zaps part of my lens. What happened was, when you have cataract surgery, which I had, at the end of last year, they remove the natural lens with which you were born, because that's where the cataract has formed. They can't get the cataract out without taking out the lens in your eye, and then they replace it with an artificial lens. And since I wear glasses, and because of a really bad astigmatism, they couldn't do the 100% corrective sight surgery on me, like with LASIK, you know. And so they asked me, which would you prefer to be, nearsighted or long-sighted? Farsighted, nearsighted or farsighted? And I was just like, well, I'm an artist. It's more important for me to see close up than to see far away. So I would prefer to have better nearsightedness. They're like, okay. So that's what they did with me. And so now, when I do my artwork, if I want to, I can take my glasses off, and I don't need them to do artwork. So that's pretty cool. Aren't these neat? Someone sent me these a long time ago. I'm saying like 4 or 5 years ago. And I don't remember who it was, but these are so cool. And I was saving them and saving them. I'm not sure I'm going to put them in here or not. They may go into my my comment planner that I'm using for my everyday journal. I might put them in there. Although I already decorated those pages. I like to decorate in there 2 weeks ahead of time. So it's actually decorated up until second week of October now. So I guess I will put these in here. Okay. Decided on that. I want to use some of these hands. These are by Paper Minty Studio. She is on Instagram. She releases a mega sticker kit every so often. I like every, I want to say it's like every 2 months or something. She has the nicest artwork. I have bought a bunch of her kits in the past. I don't have any of her recent ones from recent months, just because you know, there's just so much cute stuff out there, and I'm not rich, so I have to really pick and choose. So I haven't gotten one of her kits in a while. She released a real cute one a couple months back or so of gnomes, garden gnomes. I wanted that kit so bad, but I had committed to ordering something else, and then of course it was planner season, and I knew I was going to get back into a cousin, Hobonichi cousin, and you know those things cost. Oh, do they cost? But hopefully it'll be worth it. I did a I filmed an unboxing and did a pen test on the Sanzen Tomo River paper. In that journal last year, there was a huge problem with it because the manufacturer, not the companies who make the planners, it's two different entities altogether. So it's not the fault of the company Hobonichi who made the Hobonichi cousin. It's not the fault of other companies like Sterling Ink or, you know, whoever else. It's Sanzen. Sanzen is the company that creates the Tomo River paper. And they made some mistakes with the formula, and it was crap. I mean, it was so, I don't want to put that there. It's too samey. It was so inconsistent. Just on one page, on one single page, you could go from writing great with your fountain pen to right here it bleeds to down here, it's just real patchy. And I mean, on one single sheet. And it just drove me nuts. I couldn't stand it. I was in a Sterling Common Planner until I used it. I had the 2-volume, and I used it until the end of April, and then I switched to a Wonderland 222, which I had never used before. But when I heard that the old Tomo River paper was going away forever, oh my God, I almost cried. I'm serious. I almost cried. I bought a bunch of really old planners knowing I could just redate them as I needed them. And so that's what I used. I used a Wonderland 222 from like 2021 or something. And just, you know, put the new dates in there. And I used it until June. And then I decided to go ahead and use the volume 2 of the Sterling Ink. So I went back into that, and I'm still in that now. And wouldn't you know, the volume 2 Sterling Ink Common Planner for 2025, the paper in that, has been great. Go figure. Go figure. So, I'm going to need my trimmer. I want to trim these down just a little bit. Yeah, so that's working out really good. Now watch after I film this video and go back into working it. The succeeding pages are goofy. Goofy again. I certainly hope not. Okay, I know I don't want this on the left is superfluous. This is a personal trimmer that is almost as old as my daughter. This comes from the company Creative Memories. I don't even know if they're still, oh, that's huge. I don't even know if they're still in business. If anyone knows, drop a comment below. Let me know. You know, and also when you watch my videos, if I make mistakes, if I say something incorrectly, feel free to correct me. I don't mind that at all. It's, you know, and also constructive criticism. I don't mind that at all either. So have at it. Yeah, that's still really big. I don't know. Oh, I could put it down here. Am I still on camera? Okay, good. I put it down here. I think that's what I'll do with that one. Now this one, oh, it almost trimmed down to the same size, but this one I can trim down even a little bit more. I like the way this branch comes in, so I'm going to trim on this side. I'm going to save that and use it as an embellishment elsewhere. You know, why not? Do you save all your scraps? Let me know in the comments below. I save a lot of mine, and I just put them in envelopes that are color coded, you know, color coordinated. So like all my, this will go in the, you know, I guess the orange envelope. And I don't have too much in that envelope because I'm not crazy about the color orange. It's my daughter's favorite color. She loves orange. I don't get it. Who out here watching has orange as their favorite color? Drop an orange emoji in the comments below. Let me know. I'd be curious to know. My favorite color is purple. A lot of people hate the color purple. I mean, you know, that's why we have all different colors, to please all different kinds of people. Well, I think that'll look good right there. Nice balance. And when I add deco, I don't typically stay just within the boxes, because when I read my daily and my weekly here in the Happy Planner, I look at these boxes as being morning, afternoon, evening. And so I don't like to completely blot out a morning box or an afternoon or an evening box with deco in case something is going on and I need to write in that box. So I'll go in between like this with the deco, and that way I have room to write here for Saturday morning and for Sunday morning. So that's probably what I'm going to do with these. And I'm going to attach these right now, so that means I have to get my tape runner. Oh, if you could see this whole table right now, you'd be like, oh my God, how can you work like that? But it's pretty easy. I like having everything out, and I can find it easier, you know? Once I put things up, that's it for them. I never see them again. That's not absolutely true, but it's fairly accurate. And I don't want to get my prints all over this. At the end of the video, I will attach these and then show you what it looks like with these attached in the center. And I'm also going to try something new and put some stickers down the center, which means I also have to trim this. Is it too long for the personal trimmer? Where the heck did I... Oh, here it is. It might be too long. Oh, no, it's just right. Okay, I want to trim this in half and then put it down the center and then re-stamp the holes. Come on. Let's see. I have to be careful because when I cut it, I went in, out, you know, following the pattern, the floral pattern, and I don't want to slice it anywhere near the cuts along the edges, because then I'll end up with several pieces instead of 2 strips. And here I have my 2 strips. Okay. And I also wanted to stagger these like that. I think. And then, of course, like I said, I'll have to re-stamp this. But, yeah, because if I do it just in the middle... I mean, I'm going to have my to-do list here too, but... Well, you know, I am going to have the to-do list there. Maybe I'll do these along. Oh, that looks pretty. Maybe I'll do them along the bottom. Even though it'll be upside down, I'll do them like this. Yeah, I like that better. All right, and let me anchor down this photo. Do you all print out pictures and put them in your journals? I haven't really done that. I used to do a lot of scrapbooking back in the day, in the late 90s, early 2000s. I was a Creative Memories rep for a little while. I am going to cover this notes section, but I don't need it. I don't tend to use it very much. But I don't know, what was I saying about Creative Memories? I used to be a rep. Totally lost my train of thought. Oh well. I guess it wasn't important then. Oh, I should have put this down first. Maybe I can put it. I don't know. I guess I can peel this up. This is permanent adhesive. This is a Tombow Mono Air permanent adhesive tape runner. They're really nice. They are refillable. And even though it's permanent, you can get in and remove it if you do it within like the first couple of minutes. And it tends to come right up, even off of Tomo River paper if you're really careful. And then you can move the item. Now on lighter paper than the Happy Planner, it does tend to leave adhesive residue. On thicker paper, like the Happy Planner paper, and like 160 GSM from like Archer and Olive, which I use a lot, it doesn't tend to leave any adhesive. But now, of course, it's making a liar out of me and leaving adhesive. But it's nice because you just rub it off. It comes right off. It comes right off. There. Okay. Oops. All right, now let me peel this back. I'm not even sure where I got this. I think it was a free sample with an order of washi tape not too long ago, because I was just like, oh, I can't wait for the first day of fall. I'll use it. And here we go. Monday is the first day of fall, and true to my word, I am using this free sample. And it is really pretty. I wish I had more of it. Okay. Here we go. Now, I'm going to set this down. There we go. And now I don't have to worry about restamping the center here. It'll be just fine. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier in the video, I didn't do any planning last week because of the birthdays, and I was trying to recuperate from the eye surgery. The eye surgery itself was nothing. It was the eye drops. I mean, they made me really sick. They made me feel like I had a sinus infection. So I was all gunky and just feeling gross and had a headache for 3 days, and yeah, it was no fun. And you know, and the same thing happened to me with the cataract surgery. That was even worse because I had a reaction to they give you a cocktail of drugs in your IV for the cataract surgery. I'm not even going to use that. It's just too light. I won't be able to see it. And they give you anti-anxiety medication in it. They give you pain medication. They give you some sort of a additional calming agent. Pain medication, I think I already said that. Well, something made me sick, and they thought it was the pain medication. So when I had my second eye done, they did not give me the IV cocktail. They gave me, I mean, they did. They put the calming medication in the IV, and then for the pain, they were going to do a double dose of the actual eye drops they put in your eye, because they also give you knockout drops in your eyeball for the cataract. So you not only have pain medication in the IV, you've got it in your actual eyeball, and they only do one eye at a time for that procedure. So they did that, and the anesthesiologist shorted me on the pain medication for the eyeball. That was the absolute worst pain I have had in my entire life. And I have had a child, okay? My kid, yes. And the contractions, and I did have to end up having a C-section, which is a whole other story I should tell one day, but not today. Oh, but God, the pain. I mean, I came out of there knowing what it feels like to basically receive a bullet in the head bone. It was horrendous. The pain was just, I mean, shoot, you know? It was out of this world. It really was. It was totally unreal. Kind of made me think I was starring in my own body horror movie, you know? No fun. No fun. Let's see. I don't need any of these anymore. That's for... and these are pink. I'm not going to... What's that say? Trust in the universe. I'll trust in the universe another week. Okay, let's see. These are from Sticky Club, and I thought they would look cool here just because of the color scheme. And they look a little fall-like. So I wanted to use some of these, and I don't think I'm going to use any more of these, am I? Oh, I will use the shopping list, because that will go over here. That's where I tend to keep it. And if it's not there, it's on the back of a envelope in a kitchen drawer. Okay, I don't need any of this stuff, so I'll set this aside too, as I slowly work to clear up the clutter. Do I have any other appointments next week? I have my long-standing every other week chiropractic appointment. That's it. I've seen doctors the last 2 weeks for my eyeballs, my wrist. Oh my gosh. I had to see my PCP to get the referral to the orthopedist for the wrist. Had to go get x-rays at a different facility because we have an HMO. And for those of you who have an HMO, you know how that goes. So yeah, it was a zoo. It was a zoo. But that's all done with. I have no other appointments, so I don't need that appointment sticker. I do have this. Let me get these off of here so I can better visualize what I want to do with these. Oh, wait, I'm going to have my to-do lists here. Let me pop these on here just to see. I wanted this one at top, and I wanted this one at the bottom. See, this is how it's going to look, and then I'll be able to flip them back and forth, and I can even do some journaling on the back if I want to. So these are going to be here. Yeah, I think I will put it right there. Let's see. I'll put this up here. This will be down here. I'm going to have to trim that a little bit because it's going to be protruding ever so slightly. And then this can go. Okay, it's just above here. That's what I'll do. And that way all 3 photos will be on the same spread. But I've seen on Instagram a lot of people are putting their family photos and stuff in their journals. And I just think that's cool because it's combining scrapbooking with journaling. So I am going to start doing that. And I don't know why I haven't been doing it, considering what a strong scrapbooking background I have. So if you follow me over on Instagram, I'm at 𝗧VibesArtist, same handle I have here on YouTube. If you follow me over there, you're going to start to see more of that in my journaling posts over there. Okay, there we go. And then it's going to look like that when it's all put together. That's nice. And I'll probably put something right here to kind of balance that out. Let me see. Let me get these to line up. One of these stickers. Yeah, these are from Sticky Club. Sticky is spelled like stick and then iiclub.com. Sticky Club, all one word. And they have a monthly subscription. They have a cute kit, vintage kit, and the pop kit. And at one time or another, I've been subscribed to all of them. Not all at the same time, but and they have a lot of really cute stickers. And it's cool. They'll tell you who the artists are, you know, and a lot of times, a lot of the artists that they feature are people I follow over on Instagram. So it's kind of cool to recognize the names, you know. Okay, what am I going to use now? Do I want a long sticker or do I want a horizontal? I want a horizontal. I'll do this one. Ah! That's not good. Oh, it came right off. Okay, and I gotta make sure it's... All right, that's gonna be how the center of my page looks when it's all put back together. For those of you who've been following me, you'll be aware of the planner fiasco with the company Me and My Big Ideas, which is the company that created the Happy Planner. I have not been happy. No. And I actually never was helped. They pediddled around so long in getting back to me that by the time they did, the cover of the planner that I had that I needed replacing because it was marred 6 ways to Sunday, they could not replace it because it was sold out. Had I known that could have happened, I could have gone to Michael's and bought the same cover on sale at 60% off because it was there the last time I was at Michael's, but I was thinking, no, because Happy Planner is going to be replacing the cover for me. They had already told me they were going to send me a replacement cover. And then they waited a whole week to email me to tell me that, no, sorry, they can't find it. They don't have it anymore. They did have the planner for sale on their site with the same cover, but of course they couldn't give me one of those. You know, I don't know. I don't know what their problem was, but clearly their customer service leaves a lot to be desired. So on that note, be it known from this moment forward, I am never, ever, ever going to order anything from their website again. And after this year, it's very unfortunate because I really love their products. I will not be purchasing any more of their sticker books. I might go for another planner, but if I do, I'm going to be buying it directly from Michael's in person. I don't care if it's not on sale and I have to pay full price. I don't care. I'd rather do that than order from their website, because that was just a huge mistake. And I don't even know what went wrong, really, because, you know, these things, they come shrink wrapped. So how could something shrink wrap, once you unwrap it, be so messed up? I don't understand. And it even had some sticky stuff on it that I was still never able to get off. And I was using, you know, Dawn. I was using antibacterial soap. I used rubbing alcohol, Goo Gone. Nothing took this crap off the cover. And it was just a splotch of maybe about this big. You know, it wasn't like all over the place or splattered or anything, but it was enough to drive me crazy. So, yeah, that was that. They did offer me if I were to order a whole other planner, they'd give me a 15% off discount. Ooh, 15%? Really? Shit. God. Talk about insulting, because, you know, their sale, I think they just had a sale right now, or maybe it's still ongoing, where it's 25% off. Why couldn't they extend me a 25% off discount? You know? But whatever. It is what it is. And I wasn't even really going to go for it, because I was already thinking, you know, that planner's gone from Michael's now. I had seen it there. They had 2 of them. The second I heard from Happy Planner that they were not going to be sending me a replacement cover, I went back to Michael's. Gone. I was like, great. So I waited. I bided my time and I waited. And then Michael's had their big 60% off sale on all Happy Planner stuff. And they had the sticker books for 60% off. And, you know, everything. And so I went to go look again. And as I was looking, this young lady who works there came up to me and asked me if I need any help. I said, no, thank you. I'm just here to get another planner because their website's screwed up. And she says, oh, really? I order from their site. What happened? And I told her, and it's like her mouth dropped open. She could not believe it. And she says, you know, they're one of the companies, they pride themselves on their customer service. I go, I know, right? She goes, wow, did you catch them on a bad day or what? And I said, no, I caught them on a bad, like 2 whole weeks. Because they jerked me around for a whole 2 weeks over this. And she was like, well, you know, I was going to get my daughter's Harry Potter stuff from their website. I'm not going to do that now. I'm like, yeah, I would not recommend it. So she probably got it direct from the store. Plus at the store, she has an employee discount. And she was so sweet that she told me, when you're ready to check out, let me know. Come get me. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Okay. And so I did. I found her over there by the colored pencils. So I'm ready to check out now. She says, okay, follow me. And she checked me out. And the 60% off would have brought my new Happy Planner, which is a big Happy Planner just like this one, would have brought it down to like around $14. And then I had a 10% senior discount, so it would have been down to, you know, $1.40 off of that, which would be what, $12.60, I think. Somehow, some way, my new Happy Planner ended up costing me $10. Shh, $10. And it's a big one, just like this one, except it's an academic planner, but I don't care because I have the rest of the year in my original big Happy Planner. So I'll just, you know, pop those pages in there as needed. And I don't even think the rings are any larger. I didn't really look. And if they are, I'll just pop them off the other planner and put them on this one, you know, but there you go. You win some, you lose some. So I was happy about that. Not happy with how the company themselves treated me. And I guess that's the way it goes, you know. You just gotta... I'll definitely not be ordering online from them again. It's just one of those things. Okay, now doesn't she have another hand that I can put? I guess I'll use this one. There we go. Oh, that looks cute. And I want to do a hand over here where it's kind of holding the photo up. Oh yeah, this is a good one right here. I had these cut like this because I had them in a little traveler's notebook insert file folder for ephemera. Actually, that's a little too low. Oops. Okay, just rip the paper underneath a little bit. With better paper, when you do that, if you rub it gently, that will often, with the natural oils of your finger, heal the paper enough to where you don't even feel that. It just has a very slight rough patch there now. And there, it's fixed. There we go. There. So yeah, I did not plan last week because of recuperating from all those horrendous eye drops and also just being spooled up from the surgery. Oh, and then my husband, to get us to the... I can laugh now, my friends, but I tell you, I have never in my life felt like I'm going to die right now. I've never felt that, and I pray none of you ever feel that. It is the scariest sensation. Yeah, I'm fanning myself. I'm hot. It's the scariest sensation. He ended up driving like a bat out of Hades because he took a wrong turn on the toll road. And we were going into the city of Houston instead of going north where the surgical center is, where my ophthalmologist does all of his eye procedures, surgical procedures. And yeah, so since we were on the toll road, it took us like 15 minutes out of our way. And so we had to get off, get back on in the right direction, and start heading north instead of south. And because it took us so far out of our way, I was going to be late for my appointment. He sped. And I mean, he was doing this in between the cars, just weaving like a maniac. And I'm like, slow down, slow down. He's like, you're going to be late, you're going to be late. And I'm like, Stuart, I'd rather miss the whole appointment and have to reschedule with him than die. Hello? You know? That didn't faze him at all. He just kept driving like a maniac. And here I am. I had just had a cortisone injection in this wrist on Thursday, the day before. And I'm gripping the armrest of the passenger door with all my strength. I was that scared. And I was also getting nauseated from all the weaving. So by the time we got there, I was car sick. I didn't actually, vomit or anything, but I was car sick, and I was extremely, extremely frightened to the point where it felt like my intestines were shaking. So I had to walk into the surgical center feeling like that. It was a nightmare sitting there waiting for my appointment to roll around. And the thing is, too, we got there right on time, right at 8:15, which was the time of my appointment. And, and Stuart thought he did a great thing because, hey, we're on time. And I'm just like, oh, my God, I want to run away. So, but it all worked out. And praise God, nothing happened. I mean, it could have gone so terribly wrong, especially with the way people drive around here. No, I don't want to do that. I need that for my list. So, maybe I'll do that. I'll do that. I wonder if I can lift this up easy. So we did make it there in one piece. So did my car. I was really happy about that. But man, to have to sit there in the waiting room and try to decompress from that, I had to use the restroom, and I mean, that didn't go well. Use your imagination. But gosh. And then when they took my blood pressure, as they do, you know, before you're going to have a procedure, oh, your blood pressure is really high. Probably it's just because you're here. And I'm like, no, it's because of the drive. And I told the nurses, and they were like, oh, that's nothing. I drive like that every day, one of them said. And I'm just looking at her like, are you crazy? I mean, I guess people think that, you know, it's okay to drive like a lunatic and that no one's going to run you off the road or worse, be a worse driver than you are, and you both get into an accident. And, you know, my gosh. And around here in Houston, it's like you can't go anywhere really without seeing an accident on the side of the road. And I always just pray for those people, and hopefully no one got seriously hurt, you know. And they already have like the cops there or the tow truck or something. A couple of times I have come across an accident that's like just happened, and so I'm in my car, you know, dialing 911 because I see other people are pulling over and to help. So I have not had to pull over yet for anyone, but I would if I were the first one there, you know. It's just the right thing to do. But yeah, it's crazy around here in Houston. And it's funny, you know, my husband, he used to be a banker, and he would say, yeah, the talk, you know, the water cooler talk is always about first the traffic and then the weather. But yeah, so I don't have another one that kind of goes with this. No. So see, I'm doing totally different deco for this week. I mean, I've got so much ephemera. I've been collecting it for years. I mean, it's ridiculous. I have no business buying any more stickers or washies or anything. And I just did an Archer and Olive unboxing, and that video is up here in the card. You may want to check it out. That was our Halloween box, by the way, that I missed out on last year. It sold out on me, so I did not get one. I was really upset because I really wanted the journal from that box. And I have not been able to find it in the buy, trade, sell Archer and Olive group yet. And I've even seen other people post in that group that they're looking for that same journal. And I go, well, good luck to us all. But no luck so far. Of course, I got this a little bit crooked. And that does bother me because I use the deco to keep my writing in line, plus these lines too. So it's important I get this stuff straight, because otherwise it will cause my writing to be slanted. There we go. These I got, they're either from Journal Say or Paper World. I do have a Paper World affiliate code below you can use. I believe it saves you 10%. I don't remember. I have to go back and look at it and refresh my memory. And all my other affiliate codes are below as well. I do have an Archer and Olive affiliate code. That will save you 10%. That's good on everything except for their quarterly sub boxes. So it would include the Halloween box if it were still available. I don't know if it still is, but not the quarterly sub boxes. And that one is also a multi-use code. So you can use it on all of your Archer and Olive orders. If you're into fountain pens, I have a code for Ellington pens that will save you, I think that one's 15%. But just check it out below in the description. All of my affiliate codes are down there. And I would very, very much appreciate your support. Okay, I'm kind of running out of space here because, you know, I need this to be also functional, but I want it to be pretty. I don't tend, that's crooked already. I don't tend to do too much in the evenings, especially right now, because I have to watch every baseball game, every one. I'm so blessed to work from home. And, is this the same size as the box? Look at that. Oh, so excited I spit on my paper. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. I didn't know these were the same size. I'll be doggone. And like I said, these are probably from 𝗔𝗿𝗄𝗃, I would think. I don't think these are Paper World because this is newer. This is really old, so I'm thinking this is from Paper World. But I'm not sure. And you can find these, you know, on Temu as well. But yeah, that's the same size as these boxes. Oh, how exciting. Now that I know that, I'll be using them a lot more in here. Now, what am I going to do with this one? Oh, decisions, right? I don't know. But like I said, I could decorate for the evenings because I'm not going to doing a whole lot because the Chicago Cubs are in the postseason. Yay! I'm originally from Waukegan, Illinois, so I was born and raised a Cubs fan. My grandfather was a Cubs fan. He raised my mom to be a Cubs fan. And when I got married, I married a Texan. I'm going to have to move that washi over, so I'm going to set this on my table over here. Hopefully it'll lift and move easily. But I married a Texan, and I told him, if you marry me, my TV does not play the Astros game. The Astros game does not work on my TV. Only the Cubs game. That's it. And he was like, what? And I said, you heard me. You know, he had just proposed. And I'm like, I got to hear it from you. It's Chicago Cubs or no, you'll have to find a different person to be your wife. And he was just like, what? I'm like, you heard me. And he was just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, I'm not kidding you. And so my husband converted. He is a Cubs fan, and he actually stays informed about the Cubs better than I do. Wow, look at that. Oh my God, that looks awesome. I love it. And then I want to get at least one more of these. I should put another one of these up here. But yeah, he is better informed about my team than I am. Oh, that'll be good. This one. But I am excited about them being in the postseason. And I'm also very, I'm vindicated because I said from the beginning of the season they were going to be in the postseason this year. And people were kind of like laughing at me. And, well, now look. Oh, I got to lower that too now. Now that I know it's easy to move, I will just lift it up. So I am vindicated. I actually had on my Facebook timeline at the start of the season, I know they're going to make it. I know they're going to make it into the postseason this year. They are. And now they are. So I'm really happy for them. I hope they go far. if they get into the World Series again, I'm going to have to like steal some Xanax from somebody. Because I mean, in 2016, oh my God. Talk about high anxiety. And then when they won, it was like my brain totally like, it felt like it did a backflip in my skull. I'm not kidding. I can't even explain how it felt. And I just burst out crying. And I don't mean like, no, I'm like, just out and out sobbing, practically on the floor. My husband was grabbing me and, you know, and he was like, congratulations, congratulations. And I'm all, totally losing it. I want to do one more of these. Where to put it? Where to put it? Yeah, it was something else. 2016. That was such a magical year for us. It really was. So I'm hoping I'll do it over here. I'm hoping that this year they at least do well. I mean, I don't really feel that if they do get into the World Series, I don't really see them winning it. I don't know. I just don't have that feeling. 2016, I had the feeling, and I was like, this is the year. This is the year. Oh, if you want to hear something weird in that regard, my grandpa, in the mid-70s, the Cubs were doing, is that too small? I think that's too small. We're doing so badly. I mean, I remember it was either, it had to have been the Sun-Times, because back then the Tribune Company owned the Cubs. So it was the Sun-Times, Chicago Sun-Times newspaper had a cartoon in it of a room in a basement, and it was labeled basement, and there was a bench there, old beat-up bench, and sitting on the bench was just a big, giant, beat-up Cubs cap. The implication being, they've always been in the basement. They are going to remain in the basement. I've never forgotten that cartoon. I could draw it from memory. And I remember when that cartoon was in the paper, and my grandpa, he was, grandpa's totally old school, right? And he, let me use this one. He would get the paper. He'd walk down to the corner store every morning to buy his paper, smoke a cigar, and drink his coffee, and read the paper. There we go. That looks good. I think this is pretty much done. I may put something right here. Something small. But I remember seeing that, and he was looking at it too, and I said, Grandpa, do you think the Cubs are ever going to win a World Series? And he threw back his head and gave the heartiest laugh. This man never laughed. He never laughed. I never saw him smile. He's not smiling in any pictures that I have. My uncle has a picture of him where my grandpa is smiling in it, and I got a copy of that because I'd never seen him smile, but that one time he literally laughed his head off. And he says, let me think. And he starts thinking, right? And then he laughs some more. He says, oh, you're going to be so happy. He says, yes, they're going to win the World Series, and you will be alive to see it. And I'm like, really, Grandpa, when? And he says, in 2017. He said 2017, because I remember writing it in my school notebooks like every year for like 10 years or something. I would write the year 2017. So I never forgot his prediction, right? He was 1 year off. One. He also, one day when I was little, I was like about 5 or 6, we were watching Star Trek together. And he just said to me, matter-of-factly, he says, you know what? And I said, what, Grandpa? And he says, long after I'm gone, but you'll see it happen. They're going to have ships like this that go into outer space. They come back, and they can use the same ship again. And I'm like, what? Really? And he's like, yeah, you wait. And, well, space shuttle program, there you go. So, yeah, he was a little psychic. I actually, if you're into paranormal psychic things, I have another channel. I actually run 3 channels, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. Oh, this isn't punishment. I love all 3 of them. They're all fun. It's called True Tales of the Paranormal. It's all one word. Every video there is 100% the truth, and it either happened directly to me or to a family member. And I have like around 50 videos over there now. I started it a little over a year ago. So if you want to check it out, please do so. And I invite you to subscribe over there. I am not posting over there as often as I was. I was up to doing a video a week, but then I had all the eye problems and I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I had motion sickness for like a year because when your eyes are messed up, it throws off your equilibrium. Yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. A year of motion sickness. And so I had to like dial it back. And now it's just difficult to get back into the swing of things. But I've got a list of like about at least 20 more experiences that either I have had, a family member has had, or I experienced it with a friend. So I will be posting more in the near future. So if you want to check that out, True Tales of the Paranormal. And then my 3rd channel is called Magical Musings. These are coming up across the screen, hopefully. Hopefully I remember to do that. And Magical Musings is my channel for my main business. I also sell my art. But my main business is Magical Musings. I am a career card reader. I read Tarot, Lenormand, and Angel Oracle cards. I am a certified in Angel Mastery by Kyle Gray, best-selling Hay House author and card deck creator, and all-around wonderful teacher. He is so great. I just love Kyle. So if you want to check out that channel, my other 2 channels will be linked below, and also their names have come up across the screen by now. And if you'd like to support me over there, that would be wonderful. I would very much appreciate it. And I'm just trying to use up this little deco, because this is pretty much going to be the last of the sunflower type ephemera for the year. So I want to get these used. So what kind of a planner do you work in? Or do you even use a planner? You know, I do because of my business. So I keep track of my, the readings I have to do for the week. I also do positive candle work for clients. So I need a planner to keep track of all that. And so I've always used a planner of sorts for as long as I can remember. I've been in business with Magical Musings since 1996 or 7 on the internet. And prior to that, I was the assistant manager in a New Age shop in Corpus Christi, Texas that went belly up because unfortunately the owner, she just didn't have a good head for business and made poor decisions. So she had to shut it down. It just broke everybody's heart. It was such an awesome place. So wonderful to work there. But I worked for her for 3 years. And so I started doing professional card reading in 1990. When did I start working for her? 1994, 1995, around in there. So this is the weekend. I'm going to put it up here. A little bow. Yeah, so I've been reading for that long. And I do have info at Magical Musings pinned in the first comment of my videos on how you can order a card reading from me if you like. If you need any type of positive candle work done for you, let me know. Be more than happy to help. And that's it. I guess this is going to be it, my friends. I might put something here. That looks kind of like it needs something. Something. Maybe I'll do... I wish there was another smaller horizontal sticker. All these are vertical. That one's too long. I was thinking I could just put that on its side, but it's too long. I'll use this. Yeah, like this. There. Okay, now it's done. Funny how sometimes that one teeny tiny final touch will do it, you know. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause this and pop this into my planner and pop my to-do list in there so you can see what it's all going to look like. So just a second. All right. Here are my planner pages. I already know I'm going to have to trim this. No, not this one. Where's the one with the moth on here? I'm going to have to trim this down just a teeny bit because it's just a tad off. Let me see. Yeah, and I don't want it protruding across the top here. All right. Whoops. Whoops. All right. This is why we have erasers. Black Wing. These are such nice pencils. A friend of mine gave this one to me. All right. Oh, this is actually a duplicate page because this is my new planner I have here, and this is a page from the old planner. So I will just pull this one out. Scrap paper. And I will pop this one in. And pop in this other page, and then I will put my to-do lists in here once I trim the to-do list with the moth on it. Let's see, the fox is going to be down here. It's kind of loose up there, but such is life. At least it doesn't protrude from the bottom. Now let me get my personal trimmer again. I love this thing. It is just the best tool. It's got a drawer, so you can put all your stuff in there. A little ephemera. Oh look, here's my dog Magic. She's an Australian Shepherd, and she turned 6 in May. And there's her Frisbee. It's her favorite toy. Oh, and here's my cat Blue Star. She was sitting on my chest. And she did this. She winked, and I had my phone. I was looking at something on my phone, and I was just like, stay just like that. And she's really smart. She learned a lot from the dog. She knows how to stay. She knows how to sit, and she comes when I call her. Awesome. And she did. She kept her eyes shut, and I was able to snap this picture. I couldn't believe I got it. So I have those in there to glue in somewhere. But yeah, the little joys of my life. My pets. And of course, my daughter and my husband when he's not driving like a demon. Okay. Go ahead and pop this in now. There. What do you think of that? I think that turned out really nice. And then, like I said, I can flip them over and use the reverse for some journaling. There we go. That may need a sticker. Do you think these reverse? I just need a sticker. I didn't use any of these. Oh, but these are big. Oh well, I could use her. Actually, they're not too big. I can use her. Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll put these on the reverse. I did want to use them somewhere, and you'll be seeing these again. It's a massive roll. I bought this from an Etsy shop. Oh man, I think the whole roll cost me like, it was between $28 and $32, which of course is expensive, but this is going to last me for practically forever. I have another roll of Springtime Girls that I can use for spring and summer. And then I have, of course, these for the fall. I don't have any winter ones. I don't think I've ever seen any, actually. So if you see some winter girls in this style, feel free to tell me in a comment and let me know the name of the shop or website where I could get them, okay? Because I would like some winter girls, even though, you know, here in Houston, we don't get much winter at all. Our winter tends to run from, we're up here, from February, yeah, pretty much from January to February, and that's it. Oh yeah, she looks awesome up there, doesn't she? And I will do one here. No, I have to do it here because I'm a lefty, and that's why I put her here, so I don't run up against this with my writing very much. Over here in particular, because it's just really hard, you know, to write anything in this column, being a left-hander. As I'm sure for you right-handers, it's difficult to write over here. But then, you know, that's why we pull the pages out. That's a nice thing about the Happy Planner. You can pull those pages out, rearrange them if you want to, and then there's also, you could just get regular or decorative paper on your own if you have the Happy Planner punch. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. If you have this thing, which is pretty much a lethal weapon, I mean, it's really heavy. I'm telling you, this thing probably weighs about maybe 10 pounds. I don't know. It's really heavy. And now I'm curious. I should weigh it. But and I got this on clearance at Michael's just a couple years ago. I haven't had it very long, and it was like, it was under $10. I don't remember if it was $7 or if it was $8, but I couldn't believe it. I thought that maybe, you know, someone had made a mistake, but they rang it up like that. So I was like, woohoo. Because these things run around $30, $35, I think, or thereabouts. I'm going to use this girl here. Here's a little PET tape lesson. You can cut them out from the middle of the roll to where you don't have to snip the roll and then have all these, you know, strips of PET tape laying around. All you got to do is use your finger and lift the tape up. Just roll your finger against the tape until it comes up. You see that? And then stick a finger under there. Now, do I want the leaves with her? Yeah, I do want the leaves with her. Okay. So I'm going to cut from this other side. So I'm just running my finger under there to separate the image from the backing, from the plastic backing. And there you go. And then you bring your fingers from your other hand under there, and then you grab your scissors and you just cut the sticky part. You leave the backing alone. And that way you can remove the image you need, and everything else is going to stay on the roll just fine. You just cut off what you need. And that way you don't have little people hanging out all over. I do want these leaves because the other girl's got a couple of leaves next to her. And then I also trim as close to the image as I can, but be careful because it'll get stuck to your scissors. You see that? And if I just pull the scissors, it's going to rip this girl right in half. And we don't want to do that. And then, oh my goodness. Hang on. Sometimes it's a little difficult. You got to be so careful because these images are delicate and they rip easy. Oh my gosh. Hang on, I'm getting there. Ah, no, I ripped the kitty. Oh no. Oh no, not the kitty. Oh, animal abuse. Oh. Oh, poor kitty. He's back together now. He'll be okay. I'm mad at myself. But all right. Here she goes over here. I'm going to just put her to where the leaves go in between the discs. And I will have to trim off the very bottom of her left boot, the very edge of it. But it's going to be so slight, no one's going to know except for everyone who's watched this video. There we go. Okay. Well, I really like how this turned out. I hope that you enjoyed watching me flounder around tonight. And if you have a planner, let me know. Do you go heavy with the deco like this, or do you keep it strictly functional, or just slap down a little bit of washi and 2 or 3 stickers and call it a day or a week, as the case may be? But I thank you all for watching. This is 𝗫𝗫𝗀𝗵𝗲𝗃, the Positive Vibes artist, and I'm wishing you a very blessed day ahead.